This is Kobe with the Phoenix Hip Hop Podcast, and I have with me Malik Scott. How are you, Malik?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good, man. Yeah, glad you can make it. Yeah, so I saw you. I first saw you at Grand Avenue Pizza in January. I went out there to see Tated Crown and saw quite a few artists that I really enjoyed. You were one of them, and
Thank you.
I remember seeing your set. I came up to you, introduce myself, and you're like, "Hey, what's your name?" I'm like, "Kobe," and you go, "Oh, like the great one." And at first, I was like, "What is he talking about?" Oh yeah, Kobe Bryant. And it was just one of those moments I'm reminded. Everyone that hears the name Kobe, they first filter it through Kobe Bryant, and
Yeah,
then everyone else, right?
yeah. That's our first interaction with the name. We don't know
Yeah,
nothing about the beef.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So those moments are always funny because you're like the great one. I'm like, what do you? Oh yeah, I got you.
And it's not, there's a lot of, not a lot of tight Kobe's out there. Nothing to take away or.
Yeah. Enough about different Kobe's.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I brought it up. How first off, how long have you been recording and making music?
Damn, that's a good question. Since 2016, that's when I
Wow.
started taking it serious.
Okay.
Other times before that, I was just like writing, like doing like, every like typical like black kid dream of like, oh, I want to be like Lil Wayne. So you just
Okay.
like rapping the beats and not really like understanding what it takes to actually be an artist and blah, 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 just following something that you seen. So then, yeah, 2016, that's when I started taking it serious. I was in a group. I'm in a group called Vibe Lane, and it was like four of us, five of us, all just had a pact of just like making music, and it's been going ever since. And it's like
Okay.
everybody's like individual artists too, so it's like each person has an individual brand under the umbrella, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. One of the things that stood out to me about your performance is and I put this in like one of the comments. Like I did the artist of the week. You're one of my artists of the week posts,
yeah,
and I think I mentioned this in the caption. But you are very versatile. I think you opened with a song that had like it was like house. Is that the way to describe it? House music or
yeah. It was
yeah.
yeah, it was it's called The Oath, but it's produced by Poppy Franco. So he like
Okay.
already like had a song called The Oath. It was to a different beat. He just took the vocals and just put like built around it, built house beat around it, and then that was like part of his like remixes that he was doing and as a project to
Okay.
showcase like his skills as a DJ slash producer. So yeah, that's where that came about. And yes, it was house music. I love house music,
Yeah.
and I still don't care, and I'll fight you if you don't like house music. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. I remember you saying something along along the lines at the show. But I like the energy about that. I like is it's like on some hey, I enjoy this and I don't care who else does or does not. I'm just gonna make you listen to this right now.
Yeah,
Kind of energy.
very
Yeah.
much so. Cause like otherwise, I feel like a lot of artists are just in general scared to like put out new sounds or show what they've been working on just because they want to have a certain type of response or image basically after the performance. But it's like I'm gonna just give you what I give you. Like I'm not a one directional type of person, so it's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna showcase that in my music. Like I like a lot of different shit, so I'm influencing or influenced by a lot of different stuff. So it's like that's gonna be the product.
Okay.
So yeah, but with shows, I'm just like, it's me, bro. Like you get me for me. If you like me, you like me. You don't, that's tight. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care, or I won't say that. It doesn't move me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not gonna modify yourself based on the idea of someone else's expectations, right?
yeah. It doesn't
Yeah.
work for me. It doesn't. I don't. It doesn't work for anybody realistically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in your head and not mine.
Yep. And then you had like a very reflective song and that set.
Never caught up in the idea of me. I could tell if you near, you a phony. All these handshakes, but who know me? All these handshakes, but who know me? Look.
And then you also had like a braggadocious song. Those are my favorite. But like so there's a line where it's like what is it? If you this ain't a hobby, I'll body a.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
song?
yeah. This ain't a hobby, I body a nigga so serious, done being friendly with niggas. They think it's a joke and I take them. Yeah, yeah.
Heard, this ain't a hobby, I body a nigga so serious, done being friendly with niggas. They think it's a joke and I take them as well. Call me whatever, don't call me a friend.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's so fun to me for me as a fan to see someone just be like reflective and laid back, and then like the next song they're just like on their braggadocious rapper type vibe, right?
Yeah, that's the part about the human nature, I guess.
Yeah.
Really.
I had this conversation with a couple people. Just the idea that hey, humans are everything, right? We have darkness, we have light, and music is such an interesting way to sort of channel that, right?
Yeah. And that's always been like the thing about rap or hip hop and just the competitiveness. Like, I feel like this. This is how I'm going to show you. Say something back.
Yeah.
If not, then I know where you stand, but I'm going to continue to feel like this regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best rapper alive. Yeah. Type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always been my favorite. One of my favorite parts of hip hop is just like the show and prove, kind of the projection of confidence and all that. When it comes to all the different sort of styles you do an experiment with, what was your, I guess, when you first started making music, what did it sound like?
Ass.
Yeah. Or
yeah.
But like, was it more like was it like reflective and kind of slower? Was it like more energetic, or like how do you even describe it?
When I first started, it was more like battle rap.
Okay.
So in a sense, I was just writing like, it wasn't even 16s. I was just like writing long verses, just metaphors, blah, 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 just this, that. I was just doing that for so long that I didn't know how to make a song though. So I was just like, I'm just rapping, but then my delivery wasn't there. I just knew how to write. I didn't know how to actually go take the next step of actually putting it on wax and making it sound like actually digestible. So yeah, early on it was definitely just in a sense of like battle rap. Then it moved over to like, all right, let me start talking about myself.
Okay.
Instead of just trying to make what's going on with right now. Like I'll go from battle rap to like bubblegum rap. So there was like, I had those two extremes. It wasn't like I knew me basically.
Yeah.
Or what I wanted to talk about. So then that started to progress, and now we got to the money.
When the transition was happening from like doing like more battle rap to like talking about yourself, did it feel like difficult or like vulnerable to start making music about yourself that others would hear?
No, and when I say battle rap, it wasn't like I was a battle rapper. Like I understand. Like, I was just writing like that.
Yeah.
But nah, because at the time I didn't know what vulnerability was.
Okay.
So I was just listening to like, I'll say listening to Currency helped a lot because he's actually talking about his real life, and then you were able to see it. So then I'm like, all right, me and my homies got a lot of the same stories, or me and my homies do it a lot of the same stuff. Or like, I'm probably just the only one to like give a good summary of what happened last weekend, or like a party that we had, or whatever. Just different moments and memories. I never felt like, damn, I ain't want nobody to hear this. And then it's also like my truth. I also got like learned to accept vulnerability at that time from like other artists, listening to other rappers, like listening to Tupac be as vulnerable as he was, listening to Drake and Kendrick as early on when they're as vulnerable as they were, and like understanding like, oh, okay, it's okay to tell your story. Like it's okay to say like, all right, I lost my dad at 5. It's okay because other people felt like that, but nobody else probably felt comfortable enough to say that and give that story. So then I'd be the one to be like, oh yeah, that happened to me. And they're like, oh shit, me too. And then, okay, boom. That's a conversation that people are able to have, or I'm able to have with other people, and then we start a healing process, or, just a conversation in general.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Like the more you show yourself, like the more opportunity like the listener can connect to it, right?
Yeah, and you're human too as an artist. I think we forget that a lot. Like we all go through the same emotions. It's just that some people are able to use their gift to like vocally tell you and explain it and make you, and you end up relating to it, and it's like, damn, this is the, like, I felt sad one day and this is the best song. Like, he explained exactly how I felt, because it was very specific to what I was going through, not just a vague I'm sad, you know what I mean? So yeah.
And I mean, I like it as a fan because, like, you know, I've listened to albums where, like, there's, you know, a song where someone's, like, very confident, and then, like, the next song they're, you know, feeling down or sad or whatnot. And for me, the way I connect with that just as a human being is, like, there have been times where, like, I wake up feeling, you know, down, or, you know, I'm like, questioning myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, the other day I was so confident. I thought I could do whatever. Now I don't. Like, what's going on? Like, I feel like an imposter or whatever. And then you hear that through someone's music. You know what I mean? So, like, just on a human level, I connect with that, you know, quite a bit.
Right. And it's tight because it's like, you know, everybody wants to feel like they're not alone. And I think music is one of the things that helps you feel like, all right, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Even if you physically maybe, you just listen to music and you're like, damn, I feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah.
100%. What was the first piece of feedback that someone gave you, you know, in, like, hearing, whether it was a song or a performance that just really got you excited?
A song or a performance. All right, so I used to rap for my brother, and he would tell me early on, like, yo, man, you're bad. You're bad. And then my uncle would listen, and he was like, yeah, you're bad. And then my godfather would tell me, he's like, yeah, you're bad, but you got potential. So then once I got their approval, that's when I felt like, on a song, that's when I felt like, all right, I felt good about myself, because it's like, it took me for a certain amount of time to, like, get their approval, and I, like, valued their approval. Still to this day, I still send them songs, and they'll, like, tell me, like, you know, I like this one, I don't like this one, but it's not like how it was, like, yo, this is bad, like, this is not even, you know? So that was that for songs, is like just family, getting their approval. Then I know everybody else in the world, like, I didn't really, so you gonna like it or not, but my family love it, so it's cool. And then performance wise, this guy named Grasher, I won't say where he works at, but Grasher, if you ever meet him, he's like this ultimate dude. Like, he's like the ultimate. He used to be the touring manager for Tech Nine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and for, like, other people. So, and he works as under music production right now for a venue. And I performed at the venue that he was working at, and never met him. The way he makes his live performances is the way he, like, for the way he did it for Tech Nine is the way he gonna do it for you, and the way he's gonna do it for, like, any other, like, opening band, headliner, doesn't matter. He's gonna make it the sound be the sound regardless. And so I performed in front of him, and he gave me feedback. He was like, never met me. He was like, yo, he's like, you're good. You just do X, Y. He's like, you just gotta improve on this, X, Y, and Z, and that'll make you so much more better. But you're good though.
Yeah.
And that took me by surprise as somebody that was telling me their background. Like, all right, I've been, you know, touring manager for Tech Nine, and then I think about Tech Nine, 360 some days out of the year he's touring. Like, so he got it down pat on how to perform, how to get people's attention. So when he told me that, I was like, oh damn. All right, I'm getting somewhere. Cause not to lie, before that I was really bad at performing too. I didn't know how to, all of that. I didn't know how to translate none of this. Nobody showed me this. I'm just learning everything on the fly, like behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Like, I'm just trial and error. Trial and error is just, okay, now this is how you perform. Now this is how I do it. But yeah, when he told me that was like, all right, I feel good about myself. I feel better about myself. I felt better about my stage performance.
Yeah. No, I like the way you described it. I was talking to someone yesterday, and the quote came up, like, this is one of my favorite quotes, but it's something like, there's no such thing as failure. There's only opportunities to modify your approach, right? And so the way you're describing that reminds me of that quote in the sense, like, you're just trying different things. And I would, when I saw you, I've only seen you perform once. I've seen some footage of you performing on YouTube, and you come across very comfortable. Like you really know what you're doing. you're supposed to be there. I'm just kind of spitballing as far as like what comes to mind. Like I'm remembering your performance.
Yeah.
And you're very engaging with the crowd as well. So like to hear you, no, I used to suck at performing. Like I understand there's always like some sort of evolution of a thing, but I definitely wouldn't have guessed that.
No, like yeah, it was very bad. I had a set for this. It was called Healthy and Hydrated. My boy used to throw shows at Valley Bar, and it was his first time ever having it at Valley Bar. It was my first time ever performing there, and I forgot like the lyrics to like 3 of my songs, and I just like hyping the crowd up. Then I started freestyling, but it was terrible. And people were coming up to me. I knew it was bad when people were coming up to me afterwards, like, "Man, you did all right, you did good." And I'm like, "Nigga, I just forgot like 3 songs, and I was up there for 15 minutes. That must have been like I'm thinking in my head to myself like that was bad." But I'm accepting everybody's like your opinion. Like I know you're lying to me, but it's like all right, bro. Like cool. I'm gonna just keep it going. But yeah, I was really bad. Like I couldn't engage with the crowd. I would be like. It wasn't. Yeah, it was really, bro. It was bad. It was bad.
I know in life there's never like one simple, silver bullet or tip or trick that's like can cover everything. But like, is there for anyone that's just starting out performing, is there any one piece of advice you would give someone?
There's a couple, honestly. Preparation, like even if you're gonna improv, prepare to improv. Like have an outline of your whole set. I think that's one thing that it's funny because I have a lot of like instances of meeting people that are just like I learned something in like elevating. So like learning how to map out your show for a DJ. Like putting the timestamps, like I'm gonna take a break here, the song gonna keep going to here. Learning different things like that, preparation. And then when you get there, do whatever it is to like help you be calm. Like for me, I usually pray every time I perform. Like every time I perform, I pray because I'm super nervous. And I'll tell everybody that I'm with, like, man, dog, I'm so nervous. Like, bro, I'm so nervous. And I'll see everybody that goes before me, and I'm like, damn, they were tight. Damn, they were tight. Fuck, they were tight. And I'm like, damn, I'm even more nervous. And so I just get there. When it's time, it's like, all right, let's just pray. So I feel like whatever that gets you to that spot of even kill or just in that flow state, tap into that immediately. Like, those are my 2 things, just preparation and then tapping into focusing or like praying. I say pray.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I mean the mental aspect of performing is like such a huge deal. I mean, there's both physical, and mental. I want to ask you though. So you talked a little bit just now about like forgetting your lyrics in a different performance, and I noticed as far as I don't think you used backing tracks at all when I saw you perform in January. Did you?
Nope.
Okay. Have you ever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what was that? What was it? Was it a decision like, hey, I'm gonna stop doing this, or do you still do it sometimes, or?
Dang, that's a good question because it depends on the setting.
Okay.
But for the most part, all right, it depends on the setting. And then also, being honest, I was like, I'm kind of like a lazy artist right now just because I wasn't prepared to like some of the songs that I actually just rapped over and I'm like against that. I don't like that shit's whack, but I get it. Sometimes you have to. But for the most part, nah, like songs that I don't like doing that. I like actually performing it. I don't want it to actually sound like you can go on Spotify and be like, oh yeah, I just heard the same thing. It's like, nah, I want you to hear like a variation of it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question again? Sorry.
No, I was talking about like, was it a conscious decision? Like, all right, I'm gonna stop
yeah.
using the backing vocals, or is it still like? But it sounds like depending on the setting, you may or may not, right?
Yeah, basically it's depending on the setting, but I lean more towards not just because I want to have fun. I want to have as much freedom as possible, so I don't have to like remember every lyric. I could like give you a lyric, and then if you heard the song, you heard the song. But I'm like, if it's your first time, like I'm kind of just pacing myself for you to enjoy the moment, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Who, you mentioned Currency. Who are some of your musical influences?
Damn. All right, so Currency, Wiz, it's funny, Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, like all the like Schoolboy Q. That's really my my homie. Like I really rock with Q. Basically I just do it like this, like TDE, Dreamville. I like Young Thug a lot, and I like Young Thug even from when Language, when everybody was like, he's wearing a dress, so what? Right. Future. It's basically just hip hop in general. It's not like I can't pick just one person, because then I'll say like somebody like MF Doom, be like, yeah, right, and like in the way that sometimes I like place my bars in a complex way, like MF Doom does. Like you can't just listen to Doom and be like, oh yeah, I could digest everything off the first listen. It's like, nah, it's like a sack of potatoes damn near. Like, nah, you got to get through that motherfucker. Like, he's actually dropping some bars. But also, I guess like all the greats, like Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Joe Budden.
Wow. I never, not that I've been doing this for so long, but I never, first off, no one's ever told me Joe Budden was an influence, but I never would have imagined him coming up. How does what do you like about Pump It Up? What do you like about Joe Budden?
No, it's not. I mean, Pump It Up.
I know that's not the song per se, but that's what everyone knows him from.
Pump It Up is a funny song when you really like go back and it's just funny to make fun of him. But like his mood music, like
okay,
his like level of vulnerability was like at a level that I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You sure you want to say that, bro? And it was like, yeah, because it's like it's art at the end of the day, and then it's your truth at the end of the day. So, and the people, if you had the right conversations, the people that involved are accepting of like you saying, all right, this is what happened, and this was your side of it. This was a little bit of your side of it, but I'm gonna make me look like the good and the bad guy, but just put the situation out there on wax, basically.
Yeah.
Fat Joe, Lil Wayne, T-Pain, Ludacris, Nelly, Titty Boy, and 2 Chainz, because there's like two different people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One was with Paperback Boys, the other one is solo. Big Sean, but he has bad timing. E40. Damn. Snoop Dogg for sure. Snoop Dogg's one of my favorites too. I listen to him a lot. I have like Doggy Style was one of the first albums that I got to listen to when I was young. Changed my life. Ooh, Jeezy, Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh not a rapper, but like everything that he did as a producer influenced how like I love like Hot Boys, Juvie. Dang. I'm trying to think and not leave nobody else. Like, I know these guys. Like,
yeah, it's a lot. You said more than anyone else ever says.
Ooh, Outkast.
Outkast, okay.
Yeah, but specifically Andre 3000. And then, like, from the new guys, like, not necessarily new, but like Tyler, Earl, Larry, Dom, like Larry June, Dom Kennedy, Chief Keef, Lil Durk. It's a lot. Like, it's a lot of people that I like. I'm really just a fan of hip hop in general. Like, even. Yeah. Let me see if I can get in my underground. What is that Chef God? Like, Chef God, the pot nigga. I don't know. I don't be like, I listen, but I don't be like retaining their names or listen to them like daily, like the other guys.
Okay.
Yes, I'll say that. Yeah. Sauce Walker. Oh yeah, Sauce Walker. I'm sorry, cause I gotta give Texas their Pimp C. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my. Pimp C, I love Pimp C. Damn, I could just keep going. I'm gonna stop.
No, I believe it. Yeah, no, I like that you have a very diverse palette, I guess.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to be much more of I was like a music snob, and it wasn't until like I started a relationship with my girlfriend, and
ooh.
She loves music as much as I do, and we had this agreement early on in our relationship that hey, like, we can't shit on each other's music. Like, it's meaningful. And so that made me approach it like, let me listen for this to see what I can connect with, what I enjoy. rather than listening like, okay, does this meet my standards and preferences? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's definitely it's been nice for me because now I have a much better appreciation just of like music in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Were you always, I mean, so I used to be, snobby about it. Were you always very open as a listener?
Yeah, because I used to, yeah, Lil B is also one of my favorite influences and favorite rapper. So yeah, I was definitely open. I listened to a lot of music just like on my mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family. Just growing up, there was just a lot of different music being played, and nothing was like off limits really.
Okay.
Like my mom played a lot of gospel, but she was a Biggie fan the whole time. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me this until I got older? She caught me listening to Biggie, and I heard her like rapping the lyrics. I'm like, what you know about this? You listen to Kirk Franklin every day, like yeah. So yeah. So
That's so cool. Yeah, whenever like parents can connect with their kids about music, I love that. My son plays Fortnite, and so I try to get into it. And sometimes, so when you're playing Fortnite, you could get into a car, and then there's like a radio station. I always put it on the one called, I think it's called Beat something, Beatbox or whatever. But that's the rap one. And sometimes I hear like Denzel Curry. And
he's hard.
Yeah, other artists I like, and I'm like, wow, this is in Fortnite, so it's pretty.
Fortnite got a little. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know how they do their playlist, but yeah, I'll like consistently. There's a fly in here. I'll consistently hear like artists that I listen to, in Fortnite. Yeah.
I heard about what was it? Travis Scott being a part of that.
Yeah, he did a collab with him. Wu-Tang did a collab, so of course, for those that know anything about Fortnite, I know too much.
I suck at Fortnite, bro. I
there's
don't
a little
like the
glider
building
with
part.
You don't like what?
I don't like the building part, like having to build and then
Yeah.
shoot. Like I can only concentrate on one thing, like, and I move slow too. Like, all right, you gotta put the little thing here, then you gotta put the square. It's like the triangle, like nah, bro. And then like, you're getting shot at. My shield's low. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
Yeah, it can be for sure. But I'm glad to see like just different varieties of hip hop are just like they're just everywhere. You know what I mean? When I was a kid in the 90s, it was much more like, I don't know what the right word is, but like either people listen to this or they listen to that, and it was very like siloed, I guess.
I got a question for you. Do you think that these people or these companies actually care about hip hop, or they care about getting the demographic and consumers that care about hip hop and being involved in it like that?
I think it's both. There's a artist that I learned from Fortnite.
Shout out Fortnite.
It's the Fortnite episode.
Right.
Phoenix Hip Hop Fortnite collab.
Sponsored and presented by Fortnite.
I'm gonna mess his name up, but I think it's like Camus Leonardo.
Water isn't wet. Landed on the jet. Rolling like the sets. Pippin' in my flesh. The people say I'm next.
And he's not, as far as I know, like he's not very like popular at all. And oh man, I like to put in edits of so like I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean like it doesn't seem like someone's like, hey, make sure Camus Leonardo's on this, right, for whatever reason. And so my theory, I have no idea, I'm just speculating, but there's probably people like myself at these corporations that grew up listening to like nerdy lyrical hip hop or whatever, and I'm sure they have an influence in some ways. I mean that's just a guess though. Versus it being like more business, like, hey, let's exploit the fan base and
right.
that kind of thing. So
I like that take on it. No, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they say Raucous Records, Raucous Records from back in the day. They say that was, and I don't know, I've heard different people say different things, but like one of the guys that owns Fox News, like he was somewhat related to Rupert Murdoch or something like that, and that's like how it was backed. But then I heard someone say that's not the case. But either way, that shows like there was someone associated with this large, evil corporation that also was standing up this label to push, hip hop, like
right.
underground hip hop. So you never know, you know what I mean?
True. I like that. Yeah. You never know like corporations or people's intentions behind certain things. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm someone that I don't look at the world as like black and white versus like corporations are bad and art and art is this other thing. It's like it's like we said, it's things are everything in some ways, right?
There's a little bit of everything and anything. Basically, yeah.
When it comes to doing different styles of music, how how do you decide? Well, two questions. When you have, do you write lyrics before you hear the instrumental, or vice versa, or both? And then like, do you decide when you're putting together music like this is what I'm going for as far as like a certain style or mood? Like what's the level of preparation versus what happens organically?
A lot of it happens organically.
Okay.
I think a lot of the time, well, half of the time I'm just writing lyrics. Like I'll be like doing Amazon Flex and I'll be like dropping off a package. I'll be like, oh, that's a hard bar, dropping off a package. Like, just not seriously, but like I'll use like that'll happen, and then I'll be like sitting in the car writing a couple lines, and then I'll go to my next block or the next stop, and then I'm like still thinking about it, like over repeat. And then other times it's like when I'm in the studio with Poppy Franco, shout out Poppy Franco, we're like going through like samples that he has, and I'm like, no, yes, pick that one, no, yes, pick that one. And then as he's starting the creation of the beat, that's when I'm like, oh shit, I'll be freestyling, like, oh, this is sticking to the wall, boom, write that down, okay, this is sticking, boom. So most of it is just like freestyling until it makes sense. And then once I start getting all the pieces that make sense, I just put it together in just a song format, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I guess that's to really answer. It's just, it's both. Sometimes I'm writing before the beat. Sometimes I'm writing with the beat. Sometimes I write and then we're trying to create around the beat. I mean, create around what I wrote, basically. Just try to find the right cadence or the right tempo. Then figure out, all right, is this like moody or not? If it's moody, then it's easy to find like the different samples that you want to pick from there.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then when it comes to selecting your production, what does that look like to you? For you,
I'm like real particular. I'm like real specific about it. Like, you can show me a beat and I'll be like, oh man, this is tight, but I'm not gonna pick it. Just because it's tight, I'm like, I have a vision. Every time I like hear something, like it takes me like 10, 15 seconds to be like, do I feel it? No. All right, next one. Feel it? Ooh, I feel it. And then I start mumbling. If I'm able to like, if the words come to me easy, then it's like, all right, we're going with this, and then we're going with the vision until it's no longer, that energy is no longer there. And then we're just moving to the next one. But for the most part, it's just, I'm real picky about it. Like, it has to be a certain beat, a certain sound. It can't just be anything.
Yeah. What's very interesting, and I've never asked anyone this question, so we'll see if this question even makes sense. But I've heard multiple people say things like that, where they're very picky about the instrumental, about the beat. But then I think about, what if someone asks you to do a feature, so you don't have a choice in the beat? Like, how is approaching that differently? Is it like a challenge? Do you feel like, all right, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on this, but I'm gonna challenge myself, or what is that like?
I used to do that, but now I'm just like, it ain't even worth it.
Okay.
The energy that I'm gonna put to try to like, it ain't even worth it. Sometimes it's like, I guess I'm like a sometimes nigga. It sucks because I don't want to sound like that, but sometimes if it's fun to try to, like, back then it was fun for me to try that sometimes, but now, nah, it has to be like, it has to make sense for me, or it has to be the right beat. Like, I have to feel it regardless. Like, I can't just, it ain't about no money or nothing. Like, if it don't sound like some shit I'm gonna be into, then I'm gonna just have that conversation like, hey bro, like, you tight, but this probably ain't the one for me right now. We just gonna have to find something else, or I'll just come over your house and we just figure it out.
Yeah.
That's more of my approach. Like, I'll just come to your house and figure it out.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'll help you make a song. I'll help you find a song that best fits for me and us together. Sonically,
yeah. Okay. What is, Malik? What is one of the songs that you are most proud of creating? Like, you look back and you're just like, I really, still to this day, I really like how that came out.
I got a right now answer, and then overall, I don't have an answer because I don't feel like, because I got like a lot of music sitting in the vault, so I feel like the ones that haven't come out, those are like the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, these are some of the ones that I'm proud of. And then I'm getting all these disclaimers, like just to like say what I'm about to say, that if the idea doesn't come out how it is in my head, then I'm not proud of it, basically. Even though it might come out like good still, and I'll put it out, but it's not. I ain't really satisfied, and I gotta learn to stop doing that. But right now it'll be Closed Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because
is that the one I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that one actually.
Just because like I feel like that's one of the songs like where I actually like tried to like make a song, and I actually worked really hard on like trying to like figure out how to portray what I was like the Stanley Kubrick movie in like a cool way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cause it's based off of Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
And that's how like I got the whole closed eyes, they could still see their lives. It's like whole like illusion type thing.
Okay.
But yeah, Closed Eyes. It's on the Manuka Like Honey project, which is produced by Charlie Beeman featuring Sad Truth, which is me, and Blue the Color.
Okay.
But yeah, Closed Eyes. That's one of the ones that I'm really proud of.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. I really like the other one too. It's more the vulnerable song, but it's like something that all these fans, but who know me, and snakes in the grass, something like that. What's that one called?
It's called Springtime right now.
Okay.
Or
that's the one you sing on a lot. Which, by the way, I talked to another, shout out Jay Gallant. I still have to edit this interview. But he sings in one of his songs. He's like, I'm not a good singer. I'm like, who's in the interview? I go, who also said that when I watched him perform? Malik. And I feel like rappers do that a lot, but then it sounds great to me. I really like your singing voice.
I pray for the sunshine, pray for the good times, wash all the pain, don't call me in vain. Live like it's last days, don't harp on the last plays. You gotta move forward, you gotta endure. The choice is yours.
Thank you. I sound like a hurt dog.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't even call it, and even like I said at the show, I don't even call it singing necessarily. I call it crooning.
Okay.
Like like old blues, that's more of how my voice sits to me. I guess it's like raspy, low at times, but also like has like a high pitch. I guess there's like a high tone in my voice that I really don't like as well.
You know what's wild to me is, so before I fell in love with hip hop, my parents listened to rock music, and so I was into grunge music, punk music, whatever, metal, and like the types of singing in rock music is all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people like myself, they don't have that technical frame of reference to be like, oh, this is off key or this doesn't make sense or whatever. Singing is singing to someone like me. So
Okay.
I only say that, and to any other, artists that are like maybe insecure, uncertain about their singing. There's a lot of fans like myself that they don't have a frame of reference for what good singing and bad singing is. It's just singing, right? So just throwing that out there. That's all.
Damn, all right, I like that. I kind of feel a little better, but again, I can't sing. I'm just crooning.
I like the lyrics in that song though. It's very it's much more on the vulnerable side. That was another like real standout. You also have like a Fresh Prince reference in there. I think that caught me, isn't there? Uncle Phil.
Look, surface scales in the garden, cut it lowly. Fish tailing for the bait, but I'm Ginobili. Euro stepping to the money like it owe me. Uncle feeling all that jazz for the Brody.
Oh yeah, Uncle feeling all the jazz for the Brody. Yeah.
So I like that. I was talking to someone a couple months ago about how references pull people in, right? So like and when I was talking to this guy, he had like a Optimus Prime reference or whatever, but like if something reminds me of my childhood, like I'm like, hey, what did they say? I listened to someone's song yesterday. They had like a Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat reference, and I was playing, Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis, right? And so these things, like I don't know if artists like think about that, but as a fan, like it just makes it more interesting to me. Like any sort of reference that I connect with a part of my life,
Yeah, I for sure do when I'm writing it, because I'm like, I mean, I guess when you really study hip-hop and you listen to a lot of different artists, a lot of their references are from when they were young. And obviously, sometimes you experience the same thing that another generation has experienced. So, like, if Me growing up in the 90s, being born in the 90s, I still experienced everything that the people in the 80s and the 70s like had the fun with, and like everything that they were like experiencing. So then it came down to me being related to like, oh yeah, I love like Luther Vandross. Why? Because they were playing it when I was younger, or I like Richard Pryor, and that Biggie joke was funny to me, but it's also weird. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool because like I can't think of a good example right now, but there's certain times I've definitely heard a song. I'm like, this is definitely from a generation that I don't like, a younger generation. Like I'm not sure what they're talking about exactly. Like I can't really connect with it, but I think it's cool when people just sort of, it just shows like they expose themselves to just like a variety of different, what do you want to call it, content or art, from different, different times, right?
Yeah, you got to. That's how like I guess that's how any genre or anything or any artist would be able to grow, is just being able to see different cultures, see different influences, and take it all in and utilize it. That's how we get to where we're at now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, where hip hop is pop, or hip hop is the number one genre if you really look at it. And then everything is like influence or a subgenre, because then even in country they got 808s now that are sounding like Kanye or Timbaland did it. Like
yeah,
like so.
It's great, man. Seeing country again, like when I was a kid, like country music and hip hop was like so. It's just like night and day. Like no, it never intersected. And now, like I was listening to Mexican the OT, and he has some like country influence song or whatever, and I was like, man, there's just so many different styles of what do you want to call it, fusion, I guess.
Yeah, it started with Nelly.
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot what is his name, Tim McGraw.
I think so.
Yeah, he was the number one country. Yeah, it was like And then you have Lil Durk and Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen's tight. I didn't listen to him until recently, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's hard. I see why they were able to collaborate. It made sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, Lil Nas X.
Shout out to Lil Nas X and, the community.
Yeah.
We love you.
Speaking of community, I wanted to ask you this because the more artists I interview, the more I sort of come to a conclusion that this whole scene looks very different depending on who you are. As far as like, so I go out of my way to try to cover as much as I can. So like I'm not sticking to one sort of bubble or pocket, right? So I see like a lot of different things going on. From your perspective, this is a very open-ended question, but what does the Phoenix scene look like to you as far as like being an artist and getting out there, networking, performing, things like that?
I mean, it's cool. I don't really know how to. I honestly really don't know how to answer that because
it's a very open question. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I don't really be right now. I ain't really outside like that. Like going around to different things. Like I'm just focused on what I got on my plate right now, and then I'm just handling my handles. But overall, from what I see, and like even online, like how AZ Way Too Active is doing like their thing and shouting out people and like going to different events and like interviewing people and different things like that. Like I think looking at that and then seeing other artists engage with other artists, like I think it's cool. I just think everybody has this fake crab in the barrel mentality. I think everybody just wants to quote unquote be the one to be able to say, oh, I put on for Phoenix or Arizona, and it's like, bro,
put them on the map.
It's like, bro, we've been on the map since 19 whatever, but it's like realistically, it's like everybody's gonna have a part in it. Everybody should want to have a part or feel like, all right, it don't have to be just me. I'm just part of like bringing a spotlight here. And then once the spotlight is here, everybody's gonna be able to shine. It's not gonna be like, well, somebody's getting more than the other. Like, I mean, yeah, but it's like that's not gonna affect you and what your outcome and your path is. Like, so me personally, I think it's cool. I think everybody should just continue to just show love to the people that you fuck with. You shouldn't go out your way to like be fake and show fake love just because you know the support will come back your way. Like, let everything just be genuine, be cool, be like homie like, and just let the business be good. Just do good business and be cool. Like, it ain't really that that deep. It ain't really that hard. Like Atlanta does it, California does it, other states do it. And I feel like we don't have to necessarily be like emulate another state, but emulate the blueprint that makes sense.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody showing love to each other and everybody being supporting one another makes sense, and that brings the whole spotlight. That makes labels want to come look. That makes promoters, whoever, just people in general. We got Kevin Durant here.
Yeah.
Like, so at this point, everybody has the spotlight. Like, the fact that this is a top 5 city in America now, or been, and it's still growing. That's, you know, it's enough opportunity out here. You don't have, you can leave and do what you want to do, but even that's tight because you're going to come back and bring like more to what we got going.
Yep.
So
100%.
yeah, again, I don't know. I ain't really into it like that. I'm just focused, and I think that everybody should just be cool, man. It ain't that.
Yeah. Just, I like we said, like, be supportive, and then like another thing, I feel like people sometimes are just too negative. Like I read and not necessarily even local stuff, but just in general, when I read comments of people just like hating on a thing, it's like, man, life is so short. Like, why are you spending your time just like commenting on, you know, negative things?
And it's like, man, you must hate your life to be able to go online and be like, oh, you hate this that much.
Exactly.
Like, it's not that deep.
Just woke up, time to start digital hating.
Right. And it's like, and the art is subjective, so it's cool. Like, it shouldn't really matter. Like, you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you shouldn't go. You should go out your way to say that, to go fuck with the shit that you do like versus the shit that you don't like.
Yeah.
But, you know, as humans, we're backwards at times, so it's like
100%. Yeah.
It really don't matter, bro. Just get your chili and stay out the way.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. So, all right, we're about to get into.
Oh my gosh, I just pulled up.
Okay.
That's perfect timing.
We're about to get into what I'm very excited about. You will be the first person to rap a cappella. But before that, I wanted to know, what else are you working on? Or like, you know, anything you want to plug that's coming out soon? Performances, anything?
Performance-wise, nothing yet, but music-wise, I have a lot of music. I have more than enough music with Poppy Franco. He's produced like, I want to say like 13, 14 tracks already.
Okay.
But I'm still recording it, and I'm trying to put it in a format where it's like 3-4 songs. So right now it's just, I'm just working on music. No projects, no performance. I mean, no performances, but projects, yes, for sure, soon. Yeah. And I just want to say shout out to Kobe, the great one. That's you too, you know, because why not?
Thank you, sir.
Shout out to Icon. Shout out to everybody, man, because, you know, life is life, and it's already hard enough. Don't make it stressful for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. That's my whole, I don't really have much, bro. I don't really do interviews, too, so it's like, I just feel weird because I feel like I'll just be rambling because I'm just talking like the homie to you.
That's the point of this, right? I have maybe like 3 questions that are kind of planned, but I just try to have an organic conversation because I am literally I'm just a naturally curious person.
Yeah.
I watch rapper interviews. Like, I learn as much as I can about artists before I listen to their music, even because it gives me this newfound appreciation.
Yeah.
So sometimes I listen to like a 30-minute interview with a rapper, then I listen to their EP, then I hear a certain line, I'm like, oh yeah, it was connected in that way. You know what I mean? So I love talking to folks like yourself, man. So
Damn, thank you.
yeah, for sure. And feel free, anything on release you want to send my way, I'm happy to listen to it.
Oh yeah,
as well. Because
I got you. I got a lot of unreleased music.
I didn't make you the artist of the week for no reason, right? Like, you didn't know I was doing that. That's the thing. I never really talked about this on the podcast, but like, I just picked someone. It's not random in the sense like there's a reason, but like, it's not like, hey man, I'm promoting this thing. Can you make me artist of the week? Or like, they don't even know.
Right.
You woke up one day and
I was like, oh damn, that's tight.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I was showing my girl. I was like, oh look. And I was showing my like couple of my homies, and I was like, "Oh look, bro, look." They was like, "Oh, that's tight." And I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, I ain't know."
Yeah.
Like, I didn't meeting you that night and having that interaction. Didn't think that it would come to, like, to our artist of the week, and then boom, be here.
Yeah.
And so I was like real appreciative because I was like, man, you helped, whether you know it or not, you helped in me like going to this whole journey of like a second impression or first impression.
Okay.
And that's like my whole push right now. It's like coming out again and then making another good impression. Or if you see me before, I'm making another good impression. If you haven't, this is your first impression. But to me, this is like my first impression to everybody.
Yeah. No, and I'm happy to do it. I posted once in this story. Maybe a couple of people read this, but like for me, it's really cool because I'm able to like hear people like you, and I'm like, hey, you know, check this. I don't say check this out, but I post it. I'm hoping people would check it out, and people actually pay attention, right? And so when I was a kid, you know, I remember bringing CDs into school, and I remember bringing a Tribe Called Quest. This was 6th grade. And I'm saying to my friend who's like really into Jay-Z, really into, you know, Bad Boy. This is like, you know, we're talking like 1998, 1999.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, check this out. And no, wait, this is like more like 97. Anyways, doesn't matter. But he's like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to this. It's okay. And then like another person, I was all into some metal stuff, and I had this album, Korn, the first album from Korn. This girl, she liked Marilyn Manson. I'm like, you like Marilyn Manson? You're going to like Korn, right? Brought it in. She kept it at her desk for 2 days. Like, I'm not really gonna listen to this. So my whole life I've been like this someone that's super passionate about music, trying to show people, and they're just like, nah, I like what I like, I don't need to hear it. So now I have this opportunity where people like yourself, and I'm like, hey, check this out, and people are like, I like this, and it's very rewarding for me in that way. And
I'm discovering artists that you're putting out, and I'm like, oh shit, like damn, there was a female that you posted recently, I don't remember her name, but she was hard. She had like an curly afro type of deal with glasses.
And that's the mission you gon' listen to. What the fuck I gotta say? I don't wanna hear no shit.
Odem Leaf, is it?
Yeah, she hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have her on. She's really good. Yeah.
Man.
She has this laid back style, but then it's also it's like confident and stuff. And,
yeah. That's my vibe. That's my whole thing. Like she's hard.
Yeah. I hope I'm saying that right. That's the other thing. I don't say people's names out loud usually until I have them on this podcast. So I'm always like, how do you? Your name is straightforward, right? But hopefully I'm saying that right. Odem Leaf. But
Odem Leaf.
Shout out Odem Leaf.
Odem Leaf, you hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Keep going. Like that's
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think I'm gonna have her on next month. But yeah, we'll see. Well, cool, man. Well, are you ready for? I mean, typically I'm setting up the beat or whatever, but you said you wanted to do an acapella, so
yeah,
however you want to approach this, or if you change your mind and you want me to put on a beat, that's always whatever you want to do.
Nah, I just be hella nervous. It feel like it's a performance right now.
Yeah, well, it's not. And by the way, I can edit anything out, right? This is not live, so like if you don't like how it came out, I can edit. It doesn't matter. There's one guy, he started on one beat and he's like, nah, I need a different beat. Edited that whole first part out, so.
That's tight.
Yeah.
All right.
No pressure, dude, at all.
I'm trying to make it as simple as possible then. You know I'm a scorer like Deion after picks. Gave her so much dick she'll ignore your attempts. Don't police the pussy, bring the profit if he hit. I promise I'm like Michael if the family in the mix. It don't really matter if you black or you white. Business just business, keep the feelings on flight. Bad advice in one ear, out the other. Turned the Rain Man, finna flood the whole summer. I don't show love, babe, I was taught survival. They taught us how to sin, it was written in the Bible. I don't follow idols, couldn't be JJ, couldn't be me. As the confidence king, let my nuts hang, finger setter for the gang. Say the wrong thing, become an art piece. I'm in the stands with the fans, like Meta World Peace. Look, real niggas ain't extinct or in hiding. Really, we just shine so much, we outliers. Bitch, we been lit. You just see we on fire. Whole city lit. Bitches dancing like Malaya. And this my first chance, nigga. And I'm just done. I'm done.
That was good, man.
Thank you.
No, I liked it. Yeah. Malik Scott, thank you, sir. If I did ask this, I already forgot. How do people find you on like IG and the platforms?
On all DSPs, Malik Scott. On IG, Malik Scott 1615.
Okay.
I think. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I mean, it's currently like that, but like, I need something to easily remember.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't know, bro. I just be having a hard time being an artist because I don't feel like an artist. Like, I'm just like me.
Yeah.
I'm not having to put nothing on or be anything like.
Yeah. Someone,
just showing up.
Someone said something. I am gonna butcher this, but it wasn't about being artists, but like we're all creatives.
Yeah,
You know, like we're literally creating our day. And so in some capacity, we're all creative. So I get it. When I first started doing this podcast, though, someone was like, "What's your handle?" I'm like, "Just go by my first name." I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I even feel weird calling myself something different, right? I don't know. This doesn't feel natural.
We gotta get you a alter ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's my what comes with just a hot take? What would be my alter ego based on the little exposure you've had to me?
Damn, like Professor Kobe, you give me Professor X vibes. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. I like it.
And by the way, you got a good like podcasting voice.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that. Like,
I did
if you
not know
could,
that.
it's
Thank you.
like it's good to the ear. Some people are like, "Damn, I wish they would quit talking," but you have like it's like a good tone.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
So I appreciate that when I'm listening, because sometimes I don't be listening to people.
Nah,
I hear them, but I don't be listening.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no
and
problem.
yeah, man, keep me posted on. Well, I'm gonna keep following, but obviously sometimes I miss things. But if you're ever performing, let me know. I'll show up. You know, as long as I'm
sure.
around. I hope this is not the only time we record some content together.
Right.
And yeah, man, I'm just excited to continue to follow your journey.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. I'm just grateful to be here. This is a dope opportunity. And everybody that come up here, for sure, greet both of them with the utmost respect. If not, nigga, I'm on your top, nigga. They trying. All right, you could probably edit that out, the nigga part, but like everything else, for sure, keep that, like, for sure.
Yeah, and if you don't, I mean, just listen to the song "Close Eyes" too, because this ain't a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a body.
A nigga.
Malik Scott. Thank you, man.